Yeah, I was going to ask you guys about the Chads. What's it, the Chad Kyle 2.0 case?
I am so done with that case. I am over it. I told my chat, I'm like, how many of you guys are sick and tired of hearing this? And it was like a wall of ones in the chat. There's like one guy who put a 2. Just to trigger me, just to piss me off. But other than that, it's ones because it's the horse that's been ridden all the way out to Lubbock and then it died, right?
Yeah. And then it got beaten, and then somebody decided to make mincemeat.
and then after all of that, they don't press charges at the glue factory, So it's like this.
There may be charges still pressed though. Did you see the new developments? You guys ever seen the new developments?
I saw the civil case being filed, which I think is a very interesting thing for us to talk about.
Because that's something that we didn't really talk about is the potential civil liability.
That's a separate thing. I think that's more interesting.
Yeah. Because don't forget that you have the wife now who filed papers saying that she wants to divorce him because he's under a murder investigation. So it's like he's starting to get, the police reports have come out saying that he's.
I thought he was married to a judge and he was having this affair with this ex-wife woman.
He may have been having an affair, but he's already been divorced. He's divorced. It's done. The judge's wife of Kyle.
Which he are we talking about? Chad or
Kyle?
I'm talking about Kyle. Here, let me. I think I have the news report here. Let me pull it.
Kyle's been divorced.
I thought he was still married to a local judge.
No, he was married. No, during the proceedings, he literally said, "Hey, I want to get remarried soon, so I want to, I'm worried about the waiting time. Judge, can you waive the waiting time?" This is before the shooting, so he's already did this. All of this stuff was before that. He was married to a judge that was appointed by Governor Abbott. Okay. So once again, very interesting situation here all around. But I think that's been finalized. If it wasn't finalized, it was the procedures were already in place way before.
I didn't pay as much attention to those details because it wasn't so pertinent to the it wasn't as pertinent to the self-defense analysis.
It's pertinent to the interpersonal relationship, which at the core, understanding the motivations and who the parties are. No, because that's what drove them to this unreasonable.
The drama.
But that's what makes it unreasonable. That's why there was this alpha gorilla behavior going on with the nipple rubbing. That doesn't happen unless you've got that level of drama. Right, and that's baby mama drama, right? Because that's what this was.
This was the ultimate baby mama drama, which is sad.
The old guy and the new guy, and who's slinging, what? It's a whole case of that.
Yeah,
I gotta find this because I was looking at it this morning, and they said that there was papers filed with I'm not sure if it's the wife or the girlfriend, but I don't know. But I'll find it. I'll check it out again. Okay. But essentially, she was saying something like that. But even with this case, though, it's really split the whole crew though, because I know like half the people are saying it's self-defense, the other half is saying it's murder. So I'm like, what the hell,
Yeah.
And
you know what it was, Nate? You were still busy with the Arbery trial when we started to fight about it. And so you were like blissfully unaware of like the tornado that was going on. What's up?
Yeah. No. I was saying we were fighting about it because we were all fighting about it. Me and you were disagreeing about it. Everybody's disagreeing about it. We're going into this that I'm we're shooting off tweets, we're shooting off videos.
And on different levels of it too.
Videos. Yeah.
Like whether I was hooked on, I was like hung up on whether there was provocation or.
And then I'm going crazy Second Amendment on this because I'm like, all right, you guys are all soft on the Second Amendment. You're all pussies. So let me go over here and go hard on the Second Amendment because I'm like listening to these arguments. I'm like, wait a second. You were doing frame by frame analysis. We're arguing that this has nothing to do with that self-defense has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. I'm like, hold on. If I've got a gun and I can't use it, then that is taking away my Second Amendment right? I mean, because if I can't use my weapon, right, and then what's the point, right? So, once again, all of these things were coming in, right? And these are different perspectives and even different biases. I'll admit that, even different biases that people were coming in to analyze this with.
Yeah, because this is what is the I know Andrew Blanca, he's done his thing, which I agree with, but this is the thing that
and I disagree with.
Yeah. So does Nick. Nick disagrees with it too. This is the thing that I think is going to be the crux of it. At this point in time, is this person, because for the audience, there are generally 4 elements to self-defense, so to justify self-defense. Number 1, provocation, an imminent threat, proportional force, and reasonableness. So here, is this an imminent threat? Can he say the person who's unarmed is an imminent threat to his to his safety in such a way where you're talking about where this guy is threatening his life or severe physical injury. I can't say yes, but I can't say no, right? It's like when he releases that shot, I don't see how you can say that he's an imminent threat.
Yeah, I don't see him moving at all. I don't see like that, at least from this angle. Like this,
but once again, I'm just going to point out, guys, it's a freeze frame. I object to any viewing, and I've said I will not view anything slowed down, stopped, freeze frame by frame. I'll view it the whole thing, the whole context. And you tell me when we're playing that active video that's a long time. It's not. We only see it because we see the freeze frame. We assume that but I'm saying, Nate, this video, just pausing it here, gives you the instance that this is a paused moment, right? It through. Yes, it gives you a different feeling. Ron Coleman brought this up, that actually in court, going frame by frame analysis has been objected to as prejudicial, and I agree.
It should be. But what I'm saying is the reason why I'm not playing the whole thing is obviously because I want to keep hopefully keeping this demonetized.
Please.
It's already demonetized, but that's fine.
No, you'll be monetized. You'll be monetized.
Yeah. So I didn't want to play the shots and everything because obviously you can't tell anybody getting shot, but. We're talking about maybe a second, so it's the context is 10 feet away. It's just hard for me to think, even though the person's not running, because we've all seen the video. The person's not running at the person's standing there. Yeah, he did throw him, but then when he's 10 feet away and he points the gun, unless you can tell me he's an imminent threat, then it's just hard to overcome that imminence piece of it. I think you got everything else. You got the non-provocation. I think you got everything else. But you don't have, that is he an imminent threat? And I think that's where this thing is going to turn. For me, I think I can make an argument that he's not, but then I also think you can make an argument that he is. And that's what I think everybody's getting tripped up on.
Yeah, I think so. So anyhow, oh my gosh, we could spend so much time.
This is why I'm like, there are videos out there. We have all done videos. Check out Legalbytes' videos on that. Check out her tweets on that. Check out my videos on that. Nate, have you done a video on this? I'm sure you have.
Oh no, I have not. What I'm doing, I'm taking a different tack to it. Instead of giving my opinion, what I'm just doing is I'm going to lay out the law, and then lay out the facts, and then I have the fans
and
decide.
let the viewer decide.
Yeah, just is it not? Nate. Call it a day.
No, I mean that's
how I usually do it.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah, and that's
on the divisive issues. On the divisive issues that where it's a point where literally people can come out one way or another. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because what it does is let the person, it's a reasonable person. So how reasonable are you? Is it reasonable for him to shoot him? Some people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say
it's reasonable in Texas. Which is once again we get into this. A lot of people from Texas reached out and said this is fine. Put me on the jury, I'll be fine. People from Lubbock reached out and said, yeah, in Lubbock the perception is this is totally fine. This is not a bad shoot. Even though there's people that reached out and said, in our community, Kyle's considered an a-hole. He's a jerk. But in terms of the action itself, no jury's going to convict on that. That's what people have said from Texas.